What if I told you your life is about to change, right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Something big, something your heart has long felt, is knocking at your door. You can ignore it, but your soul can't. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear could transform everything you thought you knew about your life. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply. Let your breath settle, as if each inhale could purify your heart and each exhale release a weight you've carried for far too long. Listen to the silence around you, and now listen to that silence within you. What do you feel? A fragile peace, like a fleeting breath between two storms? Or this emptiness, heavy and insistent, that you strive to fill every moment? Distractions, social media, the noise of the world, all of it only masks this emptiness, but it never fills it. What if this emptiness, this lack you felt all your life, wasn't a mistake? What if it wasn't a failure? What if this emptiness was a sign that Allah in His infinite wisdom is speaking to you through the silence, urging you to look toward what your soul has been yearning for far too long? Every silent tear you've shed, every regret you've carried in your heart, every night you've tossed and turned in bed, praying for relief, none of it is lost. All of it is preparing the ground for an awakening, for a moment when you understand that every trial, every detour, every moment of confusion was a quiet guide leading your soul toward the light it had been waiting for. Imagine for a moment life not as a succession of moments to endure, but as a constant, quiet, powerful call. Every event, every encounter, every loss is a messenger, carrying a meaning deeper than your eyes can see. What you consider a mistake or a delay may simply be the invisible hand guiding you toward your true path. What if you looked at your life from this perspective? What if you let your heart, for once, hear what your mind refuses to understand? Breathe again. Feel your heartbeat. You don't have to be perfect. Your mistakes aren't chains that trap you in an endless cycle. They're stepping stones for your soul to see further, to see higher. Let your mind detach itself from what it believes to be success or failure. These concepts, while useful, are often illusions that mask the simplest truth: that you are invisibly preparing yourself for what is to come. Every defeat, every moment of solitude, every time you doubted yourself, all of this is a stepping stone toward an inner revelation you haven't yet dared to imagine. What if I told you that life has already begun to speak to you? Perhaps through that strange feeling of tension in your heart, that impatience that pulls you towards something you can't name. Perhaps through dreams that make sense only to you, coincidences that seem too perfect to ignore. Perhaps even through this video you're watching, at the very moment your soul needed to hear that the emptiness it feels isn't a punishment, but a sign. Because there's a truth very few people understand. Allah never closes a door without opening another. And often, the doors He opens aren't what we imagine. They don't come with a bright sign or an obvious indication. They come through silences, trials, losses, and sometimes even heartbreaks that break us, but make us more sensitive, more awake, more ready. And the emptiness you feel, this fragility you've tried to hide, is precisely what enables you to recognize what your heart couldn't see before. Look at your life as a mirror of your soul. Everything you go through is an echo of what's happening inside. Every moment of confusion is an invitation to look deeper, to listen more attentively. And what you will discover is not just the answer to your questions, but a subtle transformation, a call to become more aware of your place in the world and the path your Creator has laid out for you. You may have been waiting for big, obvious signs, but true signs don't always come with a bang. Sometimes they come as emptiness, worry, lonely nights, that feeling that you can't go on like this, until the moment you realize that all of this has been preparing you for something greater than you could have ever imagined. And as you feel that tension in your heart, that silent impatience, it's time to understand that this is not a coincidence. This moment, this feeling, is a subtle yet powerful reminder. What is coming will not only be external to you, it is transforming what is within. Fear, doubt, confusion, all of this will be purified, illuminated, and elevated. And your soul, which has silently borne the weight of the world, will begin to recognize its own light. There was a young man, perhaps you see yourself in him. Every morning, he woke up with the heaviness of a heart that no longer truly knew why it was beating. Light filtered through his bedroom curtains, but it didn't warm his soul. He followed the routines everyone had taught him. Get up, get ready, go to work or university, smile when asked, meet the expectations of those around him. And yet, each day ended with the same emptiness. An emptiness that couldn't be filled by encounters, distractions, notifications, or even fleeting moments of pleasure. He had carried this emptiness for so long that he thought it was part of him, his immutable reality. But there was something inside him that couldn't be extinguished. A spark, fragile and timid, yet persistent. A small inner voice that sometimes made itself heard in the silence of the night. Aren't you meant for more than this? Every time he heard it, he turned away. Because facing that voice meant confronting his fears, his doubts, his past mistakes. And yet, the voice returned, each time a little more insistent, each time a little closer to his heart. One day, as he walked along, not really seeing the world around him, he felt a strange weight on his shoulders. Not a physical weight, but a spiritual one. As if the universe were telling him, it's time to wake up. He looked up and saw a child laughing, carefree, fearless, completely present in the moment. And through that laughter, something unlocked within him. He understood, for the first time in years, that his life wasn't just a series of routines. There was a calling, a call he had ignored, stifled, pushed away by the noise of the world and the weight of expectations. What he discovered next wasn't spectacular at first glance. It wasn't a flash of light in the sky or an extraordinary event. It was subtle, yet profoundly powerful. An inner awareness awakened. He felt, in the silence of his heart, that Allah in His infinite wisdom had guided him to this moment. Every trial he had endured, every sorrow he had carried, every time he had felt alone or lost, all of it had a reason. It wasn't chance. It wasn't a sign that he was condemned to a life without purpose. It was a reminder, a subtle but clear signal. Something great was waiting for him. And so he began to listen. He began to pay attention to the small signs he had ignored for so long. The smile of a stranger that seemed more significant than he would have thought. An opportunity that seemed small, yet held the potential for lasting change. Words heard in a book or in a conversation suddenly resonated with his soul as if they had been written just for him. He realized that life had always communicated with him, but he had been too distracted, too tired, too accustomed to ignoring its inner call. Every step he took now was accompanied by a new awareness. He didn't need to know exactly where the path would lead. He only knew that what he felt, this insistence in his heart, was a guide. And this guide never lies. He began to understand that moments of solitude, doubt, and fear were not curses, but preparations. Like a blacksmith tempering metal in the fire to make it strong and bright, Allah was shaping his soul in silence and hardship, preparing him for what was to come. And then there was that moment, imperceptible to those around him, but monumental to him. An instant when he felt a call coming to him, immediately, with an urgency he could no longer ignore. An invitation to break free from his routines, to stop merely surviving and begin to truly live with awareness, faith, and courage. He knew then that what he had been waiting for so long was not an external circumstance, but an inner transformation. A silent promise that Allah, in His mercy, never leaves a sincere heart without direction. He began to make small decisions, to listen to his intuition more than he followed the expectations of others, to choose patience instead of frustration, to observe the beauty of the world and see the signs of guidance in every moment, however small. And with each choice, he felt his soul breathe more freely, his heart relax, his mind brighten. What he had long sought outside himself was finally within. Feel it, that weight in your heart, that tension that never truly leaves you. It's there, constant, like an underground river silently pushing toward the surface. You may have tried to ignore it. You may have filled your days with distractions, superficial conversations, endless activities. But deep down, you know something is different. Something is shaking you, gently at first, then harder and harder, until you feel that invisible pressure, that shiver running through you. It's a silent reminder that life doesn't wait, and neither do you. Can you feel time speeding up around you? As if every minute spent in indifference or distraction is stolen from your destiny. As if the world itself is pushing you to open your eyes, to recognize what truly matters. This urgency is not a threat, and it's not a fear you should run from. It is a call of love, a divine signal sent to your soul, to awaken you from your emotional and spiritual slumber. You have felt it as unease, frustration, silent regrets. It is not the chaos of life speaking to you. It is the clarity preparing to seep into your heart. Every doubt you have carried, every mistake you have made, every time you have felt weak or lost, all of it was not in vain. What you considered an obstacle was in reality a stepping stone, a silent preparation. Every tear shed in the privacy of your room, every night you prayed silently, every time you tossed and turned in bed hoping for an answer, all of this was building the ground for this moment. Yes, this precise moment when your heart will begin to understand that trials are not punishments, but messages, guides, instruments of purification that the unseen uses to prepare your soul to hear what it has always sought. And that pressure in your chest, it's not an accident. It's as if the Creator Himself is gently knocking at your door, reminding you that you don't have to wait. It's not a call for you to change tomorrow or some distant day. It's happening now, here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this shiver that runs through you unexpectedly. Everything you thought was lost, your dreams, your hopes, your sincere intentions, is converging on a single truth. Your life is shifting, and you are fully responsible for it. Imagine your soul as a garden. For years, certain parts have been neglected, left to grow untended. The weeds of regret and fear have overgrown some corners, and you believed nothing could grow there. But look closer. You're beginning to see buds, timid but resilient shoots, pushing through the hard soil of your past. Every trial you've faced, every fall, every moment of loneliness or discouragement was the rain and sunshine that nourished these buds. And now, a silent call invites you to kneel and contemplate what is growing within you. Perhaps you're afraid to look inside, because looking at the truth can hurt. Because looking into the depths of your soul can reveal scars you thought were forgotten. But you don't feel this urgency to punish yourself. It's to awaken you, to show you that the fragments of your past, your wounds and regrets aren't there to hold you back, but to prepare you for what's coming. And what's coming can no longer wait. This isn't an invitation to run away or hesitate. It's a call to embrace every part of yourself, every doubt, every fear, and transform them into stepping stones for your inner ascent. Listen to your breath. Listen to your heart. Everything you are feeling right now is real. It's not panic. It's not a twist of fate. It's a divine message, silent yet clear. The time for spiritual action, for your soul's awakening, for real and sincere change is here. And it is imminent. Can you feel it? This energy rising from within, this impatience, this tug of war, this tension that cannot be ignored. It's not just you. It's a signal that you've been waiting for your whole life. The unseen is whispering to you that the deepest changes begin with a simple moment of awareness. And that moment is yours now. You don't need complete answers, certainties, or perfection. You only need to listen, to open your heart, and to recognize that this moment is calling you, that this urgency is real, and that what you do next will determine the trajectory of your soul. Imagine a dark sky, heavy with clouds. Not just clouds overhead, but a sky that seems to weigh down your heart. Each cloud is a memory, each storm a trial you've endured, and each ray of light missing a moment when you felt lost, alone, invisible. You walked beneath this sky, feeling as though life held you back under a weight you couldn't bear. Sometimes you thought nothing could ever change, that the light, the true clarity your heart longed for, would never come. And yet, in this thick, threatening sky, a flash of lightning appears. Suddenly, tearing through the darkness, illuminating everything. And what you see then isn't just a flash of lightning, but a revelation. Every corner of your soul you thought was buried, every fear, every regret, every forgotten silence, all is suddenly illuminated. You realize that what you took for the end, for the eternal darkness of your life, was actually a prelude to the light that would transform everything. This illumination doesn't just dazzle you, it reveals hidden paths, doors you never suspected, directions your heart has always longed for. Feel this light penetrate your mind. Each flash is a reminder that even in the midst of the fiercest storm, an unseen truth is working for you. Every trial you've endured, every moment you thought you'd been forgotten, every painful decision, all of it was silent preparation. Preparation for this moment when the soul can finally see the road ahead, clear and bright. And in the silence after the flash, you understand that the world was never against you. Every cloud, every darkness, every moment you felt alone, all of it wasn't meant to break you, but to guide you toward this sign. Now imagine walking beneath this sky. The heavy clouds remain, but you know the flash will return. You know this light is not fleeting. It is the hand of the invisible that touches you, the manifestation of a guidance you have sought in every prayer, every silence, every tear. And as you move forward, you begin to perceive nuances you had never seen before. The gray of the sky is no longer merely dark. It becomes a contrast to the light you are learning to recognize. Every storm becomes a dance of purification. Every gust of wind, a breath of clarity that sweeps away the accumulated dust in your soul. And that's not all. Because the light of lightning doesn't just show you what is before you, it also reveals what is within. The buried truths you have hidden, the wounds you have ignored, the desires of your heart that you have repressed out of fear or doubt, all are exposed, but not to hurt you. On the contrary, so that you can finally see, accept and understand. The light teaches you to embrace your own darkness and transform it. It shows you that what you thought were your limitations, your weaknesses, or your failures are actually anchor points for your ascension. So close your eyes for a moment and feel this light. Let it flow into every corner of your mind, into every space where fear and doubt have taken root. Feel it pass through your heart, each beat seeming to echo this illumination. You are no longer simply a spectator of your life. You become aware of the divine presence that acts through every moment, every trial, every silence. What you believe to be obstacles become guides, and what you thought was lost becomes the surest path to what your soul has always longed for. And then, like a silent revelation, you begin to understand. This sky, these clouds, this storm, this light. It is not just an image. It is a living symbol of your inner transformation. Every darkness you have passed through, every breath of loneliness, every worry or fear was a secret language of the invisible preparing your soul. And now, you can finally see it. You can finally feel that clear, powerful signal telling you everything you are going through is a path toward what is to come. And as you walk beneath the sky, still partially dark, you realize something crucial. What you see is not the end, but the beginning. And this beginning, though invisible to all, speaks directly to your heart. It whispers to your soul. Prepare yourself. Stay alert. Open your heart, for the light always returns. And what is being prepared for you surpasses anything you could have imagined until now. Why do you feel this tug, this shiver in your heart, this impatience that nothing and no one can satisfy? Why, even amidst the noise, the world, and daily obligations, do you have this feeling that something greater, something immense, is about to happen? Perhaps you've tried to ignore it. Perhaps you've told yourself it's just a coincidence, exhaustion, or your imagination running wild. But this tug persists. It returns in the silence of the night, in the emptiness of your soul, in those moments when you find yourself alone with yourself and your thoughts. And it's not a mistake. It's not chance. It's a direct, subtle, yet persistent call from that part of you that knows the truth of your existence. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Listen to this whisper that has never truly stopped. Perhaps you heard it in your silent prayers, in your doubts, in the moments when you wept silently for a relief you thought impossible. This tug of war you feel isn't simply anxiety or fear. It's the voice of your soul, a signal the Creator has placed deep within you, reminding you that life isn't just what you see, but what you feel and what you don't yet know. What if it weren't just intuition? What if this shiver, this impatience, weren't a mere psychological coincidence, but a real call to awaken? A call to break free from the cycle of routine, distraction, and superficiality, in which you have allowed yourself to be trapped, to open your heart to the invisible truths you've always sought without daring to name them. Because your soul knows. Your soul remembers. It remembers that you are destined for more than monotonous days and meaningless nights. She knows you are called to feel, to see, to understand, to live with an awareness few attain. Look at your life now. Yes, look at it as it is, without filters or excuses. How many times have you felt this emptiness, and tried to fill it with what could never fill it? How many times have you sought peace in temporary things, in crumbling relationships, in routines that engulfed you? And yet, despite all these experiences, this tug of war, this shiver, this impatience remains. Why? Because what you seek has never been outside. What you long for has never been in others or in circumstances. It is within you, waiting for you to hear it, to acknowledge it, to respond to it. So ask yourself this question. Are you ready to hear what your soul has been waiting for so long? Are you ready to listen to this whisper that has followed you since childhood, through your moments of doubt and loneliness, through your mistakes and regrets? This isn't just advice. It isn't a casual encouragement. It's an urgent call. A reminder that every day you spend ignoring this voice is a day lost to the subtle yet powerful guidance that the unseen offers you. Can you feel the tension? This gentle but persistent pressure, as if the universe itself were holding its breath, waiting for you to finally choose to respond. Every time you hesitate, every time you look away, you feel a pang of frustration, of unease. This isn't by chance. It's life, imploring you to pay attention. It's the light knocking at the window of your soul, reminding you that you are destined for more, for something profound, for a transformation that will never come to you if you remain blind to this sign. Imagine for a moment what this means. All the trials you've endured, all the lonely nights, all the silent prayers, and all the fears you've overcome. This inner conflict is their culmination. It doesn't come to punish you. It doesn't come to break you. It comes to awaken you, to uplift you, to lead you to the truth your heart has always sought. And yet, there's a subtle condition. To hear what your soul longs for, you must first accept the silence, accept the discomfort, accept that this path won't be what you envisioned. And now, listen even more deeply. What will you do with this inner conflict? Will you ignore it as you have before, or will you follow it? Let it guide you, and finally recognize that what you've always longed for was there, invisible just beneath the surface, waiting for you to open your eyes. Because this very moment, this thrill, this anticipation, this tension in your heart, this moment is for you. And what you choose now will determine the direction of your soul for the days, months, and years to come. The silence of your heart has never been empty. It was full of messages you hadn't learned to recognize. And this inner turmoil you feel today, it's proof that your soul is awakening, that the unseen is speaking to you, that what you've longed for is here, right in front of you, ready to transform you, if only you choose to listen. And so, only one question remains, clear and crucial. Will you answer this call? Or will you continue to ignore what your soul has always been telling you? The moment is approaching, you can feel it. Not just with your eyes or ears, but in your veins, in every breath you take, in the steady yet intense beat of your heart. It's a silent energy flowing, almost imperceptible, but it's there. Like an invisible force, gentle yet insistent, urging you to look beyond what you see, to feel beyond what you think you understand. And you feel it, don't you? This gentle but persistent tension within you, this waiting that nothing and no one can feel. Everything you've been through so far, every fall, every defeat, every loss, every loneliness, and every wound. It wasn't in vain. It wasn't by chance. It wasn't so you would feel useless or forgotten. These trials were the forge in which your soul was preparing itself, invisibly, silently, for the moment that is coming. Everything you thought was an obstacle, everything you thought was an end, was actually a secret passage, An invisible springboard to prepare you to hear, feel, and respond to what is about to happen. Feel it. Feel every scar, every painful memory. They are not chains, they are keys. Keys that unlock doors you never dared imagine. Doors to truths you have searched for all your life. Truths that reveal themselves only to those who have persevered despite despair. Those who have walked in silence. Those who have believed even when all seemed lost. And what you thought was lost, those fragments of yourself, those pieces of your shattered dreams and extinguished hopes, it all returns now, not to remind you of your weaknesses, but to show you your strength. Imagine for a moment life as a vast field of possibilities, but shrouded in such a thick fog that you can see nothing. For years, you walked through this fog, sometimes stumbling, often falling. Perhaps you cried out silently, asked for answers, searched for signs, and thought nothing was coming. But look closely. Every step, every trial, every moment of solitude was a veiled guidance. And now, the fog is beginning to lift. The outlines are becoming clear. Paths you had never seen are being revealed. And at the center of this inner landscape, a powerful call resonates. A call that pierces you, shakes you, and makes you feel that everything is about to change for good. You can feel this rising, can't you? Like an invisible wave, silent but irresistible, lifting you up. A wave that cannot be stopped, inviting you to let go of what has held you back, to abandon the doubts that have paralyzed you, to release the fears that have limited you. It's no coincidence that you feel this impatience. This is not the result of anguish or chance. It is the soul's impulse, the moment when divine guidance manifests in your mind and heart, ready to transform what has seemed immutable. Every breath you take is now a reminder. You are ready. Even if you don't believe it yet, even if you feel weak or hesitant, even if the wounds of the past seem too heavy to bear, you are ready. Everything has converged to prepare for this moment. The lonely nights, the moments of doubt, the unseen losses, the silent prayers. All of this has been meticulous and perfect preparation. And what you are about to receive surpasses anything you could have imagined. It transcends the limits of your current understanding. And yet, your soul already recognizes it, deep within itself. Now imagine that this moment is not merely an external event. It is not simply a change in your material or social life. It is much deeper. It is internal, spiritual, transformative. A silent purification, a gentle yet persistent illumination that touches every fiber of your being. As if the entire universe conspired to ensure your heart finally hears what it has always longed for. And what is coming doesn't wait for your approval. It approaches, it knocks at your door, and you cannot ignore it. The momentum of your soul is felt in every cell of your body. It's a shiver rising from within, a vibration coursing through your bones, a warmth touching your heart and filling it with anticipation. Every doubt dissolves a little. Every fear recedes slightly. And in that moment, you understand. Everything you thought was slow, everything you thought was delayed, everything you thought was lost, was merely preparation for this revelation. Everything that happens at this precise moment is perfectly orchestrated, invisible yet powerful. And then, only then, do you begin to feel what it truly means to be aligned with what is meant for you. You don't have to understand the entire plan or know everything that will happen. You only need to feel the direction, answer the inner call, and recognize the momentum that is now. For the moment is approaching, the moment of transformation, of clarity, of spiritual renewal. The moment when your soul can finally breathe freely. And what you choose to do now, what you choose to feel and accept, will determine how this moment manifests in your life. Because it is approaching, you can feel it. It is imminent. And it is greater than anything you have ever imagined. Every loss you have experienced, every loneliness you have felt, every defeat you have endured, all of it has led you to this very point. And when the call sounds, when the unseen light touches your heart, everything will change. For good. Do you feel that call? That urgency in your heart? It's no coincidence. Everything you've been through, every doubt and every challenge has prepared you to respond to this moment. Now the choice is yours. Ignore it or listen and act. Click, watch, immerse yourself in this spiritual journey to the end and discover what this profound change can mean for you.